Good afternoon and welcome to the Wavy Digital Desk. I'm your host, Sarah Good, and today we're going to be talking about the VSO's Tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. concerts that are taking place this weekend and next weekend and some of their upcoming programming. We have Nikki Thorpe here, the Director of Diversity and Engagement, and we have Patrick here with us, who is going to be, let's say, guest starring is the term we use, for the upcoming concerts. But Patrick Riddick is the choral director, and he is going to be with the VSO and a few upcoming things that we'll get to. But Nikki, to start with you, can you just tell us a little bit about what's happening this weekend and next weekend?
Sure. So we have an annual tribute to Martin Luther King Jr. every year. So we've had it for several decades now, not several decades, at least a decade. And in it, we always have what we do call a Dreamer Award. And this year's Dreamer Award recipient is Captain Janet Days of the Norfolk Naval Base. So we're so excited that she agreed to accept this award. And she is the first African-American female to be the leader of this base. And this is the largest naval base in the entire world, not just the United States, but the whole world. But every year we have this concert. It's sponsored by the city of Norfolk. And we bring just a bunch of different people in. We have pastors speaking. We have this year a choir singing. The full orchestra plays, and we have community leaders that come in. So it's really a community-oriented, free event. Mm-hmm. So we just love having that every year, something we look forward to.
And it's really community-based, too, that you all are actually hosting these concerts in community buildings. So we're talking about a high school in Portsmouth and, a church in Norfolk. Can you just talk a little bit about, that piece, really bringing it in the community?
Yeah, so typically we do host it in a church because Martin Luther King Jr. was a pastor himself, so we try to keep that kind of feel going. But we have what is called the Harmony Project, and that's where we partner with local black churches in the community. And one of our Harmony Project partners, Reverend Guns of Second Calvary Baptist Church, agreed to open up his church to let us come in and host this program. But we want it to be accessible to people, so everybody's not going to go to Chrysler Hall, everybody's not going to go to Sandler Center or the Harrison Opera House, but people feel comfortable coming into a church, coming into their community, a building that they know that is community focused. So it's a win-win as we partner with these other churches and high schools.
And just talk a little bit about, maybe from the performing aspect, to play and to sort of conduct the choirs, in these places and direct this show. Does that change, for these tribute concerts when you're in more of a church? Do you want people to be interactive, or do you want people to be, clapping along, or, what do you want from the audience? Is it like a traditional aspect where you're in those 4 concert halls?
It's the same, and then it's not. Of course, a church may not be as large as a Harrison Opera House. So it does afford you a little more intimacy, but wherever we are, whenever we've done these shows together, the people have a great time. And they're, so it still feels amazing.
Yeah, so what we want to do is kind of debunk the myth that the orchestra is only for stuffy people or elitist. We want to make it to be more accessible to everyone in the community. Mm-hmm. So bringing a choir along in the audience. Last year we had a choir for the first time, and the audience was clapping, and it really resonated with them, and it felt familiar to them. So having that coupled with the traditional orchestra. So we're going to be playing some truly gospel pieces as well as some classical pieces. But we want to make sure that at least there's some familiar things that we're presenting to the people of the community, and then introducing them also to some classical pieces.
Mm-hmm. And then, Patrick, can you speak more on that? What's planned, in terms of what you've been preparing for?
So for the show that we're doing this weekend, we're doing a classic by one of gospel music's A-list foremost producers, writers, and by the name of Donald Lawrence. Yeah. And he has a tune that is called "The Best Is Yet to Come," which is so befitting coming into the new year. Somebody may not have had a great 2023, but the best is truly yet to come, and you can look forward to great things in 2024. And so I'm just excited to hear how it's going to be with the choir and the symphony playing such a great. It has a good pop feel to it as well. It's going to be fun. It's
And
going
is
to be
that
fun.
collaboration really fun? But when the choir is able to sort of connect with the orchestra.
Yeah, absolutely. It just as Nikki said, it's exposing people to the symphony that they wouldn't ordinarily do. When we do these events, of course, you may have people that would have never gone to hear VSO, but because they have a cousin or aunt or a mother or someone that's participating in the choir, now they're going to come out, and then just like the last time, they're like, well, I never heard a symphony before. I'm enjoying it. So when is the symphony playing again? I want to go and see them.
Exactly.
And it's working.
Exactly. And then conversely, we expose people that only go to the symphony and have never heard a gospel choir to the gospel. And they really like it. They really enjoy that spirit-filled kind of singing.
Yeah.
So we're collaborating with them on one song, but then they're going to do a song on their own as well. I don't know if you want to talk about the other song.
Is it a surprise, or
It's a surprise. We don't want the people to know too much. We want you to come out. Come on out.
But Patrick's choir is phenomenal. I mean, they're known all over the United States, and they're just very well regarded, but they can really sing well too.
And I guess that's a question for you. How important is it to bring your choir to partner for these events and to come into the community when you also do shows on your own as well?
It definitely exposes us to new faces and new ears. And lets people know that we're here. We'll be celebrating 25 years next year. And there's still thousands of people in the area that may not have known that we're here. And so it's a win-win for everyone.
Wow, 25 years.
Yeah, 25 years,
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I think the one thing, and what your role really brought in, is we've talked about this engagement and diversity engagement role that you have. The last time you all came in for the open event that was in Norfolk, and I think it is really special to sort of hear about those connections that VSO is having with the community. And those aren't restricted to only one part of the year. But how important is that, to have these opportunities to get out in the community? And right now you're going to do 2 cities. So you're doing Norfolk and Portsmouth.
Right. So we're really excited about our extension of this program. This is the very first year, so we could start counting this year so we know how many years we've been doing Portsmouth. But this is the very first year that we're partnering with Portsmouth. So the city of Portsmouth is sponsoring that particular concert. And I have to be fair, we're also having a Dreamer Award recipient there, Dr. Darlene Washington. So we're really excited about going into other areas. We want to expand our reach. A lot of stuff is Norfolk-centric because we're housed in Norfolk. But if we expand to Portsmouth and to other areas and other communities that might not come out in droves, so to speak, again, exposing them to the symphony at a local high school there will help them have entree into our world. So I'm just so excited about that.
Historical high school at that.
Yeah.
For those of you know, it's at IC Norcom High School in Portsmouth, and that's going to be on the 21st. So you have time really to go to both if you want to.
Absolutely. We'd love for people to come to both. Again, it's free, so you might as well take advantage of a full professional orchestra and a recording choir at no charge. I mean, you can't beat that. Yeah. So, and that's a great way to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., particularly his life. And then, of course, we want to do service and other things, but I think having a place where we're all coming together to honor him is very significant.
Right, and then I want to talk a little bit about, at least on the Facebook page, some people were highlighted in the chorus. So, I don't know if it's soloists that you all were talking about, but we have soprano Alicia Russell. Is it Tajer or?
Well, that's actually a collaboration with the Virginia Opera that we're doing. Okay. So they have a show coming up called Sanctuary Road, and it's about slavery and an abolitionist. So that show is going to be played by, accompanied by the Virginia Symphony Orchestra. So it's a collaboration.
Coming up events in January. So I don't want to jump ahead yet.
Okay.
But is it, so then, for this one, are there certain soloists or people that you're focused that are sort of being featured, I guess I should say, in this one?
No, it'll be just the choir in general, doing a mass selection partnered with the symphony orchestra.
That's great. Okay, so it's more focused on the whole, I guess, to say. And then I don't know if there's anything else about these two concerts that you want people to know. I mean, can they just come casual? Can they come after church or whatever they're doing that day? I mean, show up as you are.
Absolutely. Come as you are. We don't have any restrictions, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to be with different people from the area. I do want to mention we are having this conducted by Everett McCorvey, who's also conducting the Sanctuary Road for the Virginia Opera. And then we have a youth musician, Summer Littles, and she's going to be playing the violin, and you don't want to miss it. We feature a young musician every year, and they always leave us with our minds blown, so you need to really come out and hear them. But yeah, come after church. The doors open, I believe, at 6 o'clock, maybe 6:30, but just get there early so you can get a seat. And then, we just want everybody to come out.
And then I think the next Sunday's a little earlier. I think 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Yes. So come right after church, or go get your dinner after church, and then come right to IC Norcom High School.
And then, going forward in January, now we can sort of jump ahead. There's a couple other events that, Patrick, you're going to be a part of as well. First, we want to talk about the gospel concert that's coming up. Do you want to give us a little bit insight on that?
Well, I'll let Nikki do all the details.
Yeah, okay.
So, right, you would think that the Virginia Symphony Orchestra is not putting on a gospel show, but we are. And we're so excited to have as a featured singer Dorinda Clark Cole of the legendary Clark Sisters.
Yes.
And if you guys don't know about the Clark Sisters, they are like phenomenal. They even had a mini series on Lifetime about their lives, and was sponsored by Queen Latifah and Missy Elliott.
Yep.
Wow.
So
I think
they're
they're up
very
for a
well
Lifetime
regarded.
Achievement Award for a Grammy as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
See,
they're up for
I didn't
it.
know that. Yeah. So they're Grammy Award winning, and I didn't know they were getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. They were on a part of the Kennedy Honors last week when they honored Queen Latifah. So they are very, very well regarded. They're very well known in the gospel community and outside of the gospel community. Yeah. So we're just so excited to have them. So part of the concert is going to be this huge choir. So Patrick's choir, along with a couple other choirs, will be participating along with Dorinda Clark Cole. And then we have the conductor for that is Dr. Henry Panion. He lives in Birmingham, Alabama, but he's also a Grammy Award-winning conductor, and he's done stuff with Stevie Wonder. So this concert is going to be amazing.
Huge,
And of course, our own Virginia Symphony Orchestra will be playing the whole concert. So we're just excited about doing this collaboration. It's going to be amazing.
I mean, you're talking about a lot of stars, a lot of star power that's going to be there. And I want to say, too, we talked about how important it is to hear different sounds and music, but I imagine for the orchestra as well, it's exciting being able to partner with other people and be able to experience different music, in the repertoire.
Absolutely. And I think our music director, Eric Jacobson, has done an amazing job with bringing different genres together. He's brought all kinds of music to the orchestra. So not only are we playing classical pieces that are familiar to people, he is kind of merging different pieces with the classical pieces. So it's been really good to see the diversity within our repertoire, and we're being intentional about being diverse. We had a meeting this morning about even expanding our rep and doing something maybe for the Latino community during Hispanic Heritage Month. So we want to just do things that will appeal to all of our Hampton Roads neighbors.
Right. So you're really doing it, obviously, and I think, that's been obvious in your work. Even you all have paired with local youth, sort of music groups as well in your past concerts.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the highlights is for our community event that we talked about before, we had our director of education kind of reimagine Mozart 40, and we had Teens with a Purpose rap to Mozart 40, and it was amazing. We had a beat and all that. It was just so great. And Teens with a Purpose has even performed it on their own. So when they're out, they have the
It's
track
carried
and
on.
it's carried on. So you never know how impactful classical music can be on a multitude of genres.
Yes.
So it's a lot of mixing and matching, and all music is great,
Absolutely. And that show, though, that is going to be at, I just want to make sure, that's at Chrysler Hall on February 10th. Just for anyone listening, just wanted to get that out there. So February 10th, so mark your calendar. But, is there anything else, in terms of the concert, that you want to highlight in terms of your choir?
I just think that this, thanks to Nikki and her efforts, is just putting them in a place seasonally where it's appropriate for them. I don't want to blow my horn, but toot. My choir is phenomenal, and for me, this is going to be great because this will be my first time actually hearing them sing with an orchestra as well.
Good.
And a lot of my singers, they read notated music and what have you, and so this is just a great situation, and I'm excited. I'm a fan, although I'm involved. I'm like a fan of this moment that is about to happen. So it's really huge. It's really huge.
Wow,
Great.
that's special.
Yeah.
To hear that. I mean, because you think of how it touches people in the audience, but for it to be, you to be so passionate about it, and your choir as well, is really special. So, and I'm sure that's going to come through in the shows,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but are
Okay.
we allowed to give giveaways to this concert? Any ticket giveaways? Is that okay? Or
Sure.
okay,
Yeah.
we'd like to give away, if you put in the chat, I want a ticket, then we can contact you later. I don't know how that would work practically, but we'd love to give a ticket away, or if they call the office and say that they heard this, we'll give it away to the first 3 people that respond.
Yeah. Sounds great
Okay.
for people. And this will also, if they don't, jump on the chance as soon as they hear it on Facebook or wavy.com, this also plays later and will be in the article. So if people are watching it on the article, they can also, call in and see.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be great.
Yeah.
Thank you for
And
letting me slide that in.
No, that's all right. I mean, it's a great opportunity for people that are out there and are interested and want to be involved, and maybe either haven't had the opportunity yet or just need an opportunity to sort of open the door for them, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Chrysler Hall is a beautiful space, and we just look forward to packing it out. We want
Yes.
everybody to participate and listen to this, and come as you are, and just really just feel free to join us in this effort.
And I know that you all can't see the B-roll from the direction that you're sitting in the studio, but up on screen we have, the poster information of both concert or / tributes that we've been talking about, as well as we also had some archive footage of when the VSO was in, I think it was in Chrysler Hall for a combination concert with Norfolk Public Schools. So just sort of showcasing what the hall looks like, but also the work that you all have been doing for years, which is great. But that's been, playing on screen, as well as some photos that you all have from some previous events. So
thank
that's
you.
what people have been seeing throughout the conversation.
Thanks a lot.
But I think, the whole thing sounds exciting, the whole lineup coming up. And, what's the best way, I think, going to VSO's website to sort of see what else they can see? There's a lot coming up. Real quick, do you want to talk about what I sort of alluded to, I guess, accidentally, but the Virginia Opera show that's coming up?
Yes, so we're partnering with the Virginia Opera. Well, we're playing for the Virginia Opera for their Sanctuary Road concert, and that is at the end of the month. And they have some wonderful promotions as well as far as getting tickets. That will be at the Harrison Opera House, but they have beautiful singers, and the soprano you mentioned earlier is going to actually be performing on that show. So we wanted to give the audience a preview of what they'll be hearing if they go to Sanctuary Road. So if you come to our MLK program, you will hear how amazing the soprano is, and that should encourage you to get some tickets. But you can go on Virginia Opera's website and find out more information about that. And then you could also visit our website, because that information is on our website as well. And ours is virginiasymphony.org.
Okay, great. And so people, you've heard it, and it's also on wavy.com. I've linked right to the Virginia Symphony Orchestra's website, so you can go and find out more information about both shows and the upcoming shows in February. Is there anything else that either of you, want to discuss today or bring up while we have a chance? Or
I don't think so.
they're going to go back and
concerts.
prepare.
Yes.
I'm sure we caught you in the middle of preparation for this, but thank you so much for giving us so much of your afternoon.
Thank you
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.